that Otaku Bear, and we're back with yet another quickie car review. Now, unfortunately, the Kia is down and out. She was in an accident, and still unsure about what's going to happen. Maybe we'll have a new car to review, but unfortunately, right now, I am stuck in a rental, and if you can't tell, this is a 2018 Nissan Altima. For what it matters, it's the SV trim, which I looked into it, and you get alloys, a little bit of tech, but nothing really fancy.
Someone paid for those?
Yes. But as far as the outside goes, I mean, especially compared to a lot of cars these days, it's truly inoffensive. I mean, the rims are even not giant, stupid rims. The lights, they're okay. Nothing's offensive. But this car should come with, well, many disclaimers, but at least one big one. Look, but don't touch. Because when you go to touch something, things start to go downhill fast. So I want to get in the car, so I'm going to touch this nice chrome handle. Oh no, it's this wobbly, cheap chrome plastic. And same thing up here. And you'll notice that the metal's none too good. Let's go ahead and put something in the trunk. You know, say I'm carrying a big ice chest, 50-pound ice chest, I need to get it in the trunk. Pop my nice little button. I'm not getting an ice chest in there, so I'm going to put the ice chest down and open the trunk just like I would have anyway. Cool idea, not exactly worth it. Now, once you have it open, the trunk is very easily accessed. You're going to get anything you want, strollers, golf clubs, what have you. And it's nice and accessible, plenty roomy, but when you go to, again, look, don't touch. When you go to close it, look at this. I mean, I'm kind of strong, but I'm no brute. And it's just flimsy. You can actually see the metal bending right here. And when you close it, it's just, again, look, don't touch would be a very good mantra for Nissan right now.
Not anymore, they went back to the floating roof.
So, inside, again, completely inoffensive, very well laid out, everything is clearly labeled. But again, we're going to be finding that mantra of look, don't touch when we go for a ride along. But again, really clean design. I'm not offended by it like, say, Honda with their weird stacking gauges, stuff like that. You know, the screen isn't off the dash in the middle. Yeah, it's a lot of really good thought out designs executed on a very bare minimum. I mean, this, I struggled to see it getting past quality control, but we'll put on a brave face, we'll jump in, go for a nice ride down some back roads. And so we are moving on to our driving and interior segment. And once again, laid out, really simple, everything's easy to reach and understand. But we're gonna have to follow that mantra I set up, look but don't touch, because whereas these look like good textures, everywhere you look or touch is unfortunately inhabited by some form of cheap, unpleasant, hard plastic. And the only places they're not would be like the steering wheel, which is made from, what I can tell, is recycled porpoise leather. This is some of the worst leather I've had the unfortunate of touching. But yeah, as far as actual driving dynamics go, well, you know what, first let's go ahead and cover comfort. It's not an uncomfortable car. Despite riding suspiciously low, it handles okay as far as bumps, you know, potholes, things like that. As you can tell, there's not a whole deal of road noise, anything such as that. But again, it's, for as low as it rides, it doesn't return anything in sportiness or confidence in handling. For, you know, as comfortable as the seats are, they are a little tricky to get into a good position. Especially if you don't have the power seats with the upper models. I know like the passenger seat on this one is manual, and the back adjustment is just kind of funky. It takes a while to find a position that's normal. The back seat I've had no experience with yet, but it looks like a back seat. Your ubiquitous 2.5 kids are definitely going to fit back there.
No.
Okay, they may not be happy, but they're going to fit back there. We've covered the trunk, very good trunk capacity, as should be expected from a family vehicle. And so, yeah, we are just cruising through the country right now, and we are about to start talking about, you know, performance, driving dynamics, even day-to-day stuff. dynamics, even day-to-day stuff. Uh-oh. This is my day-to-day stuff. So, good point. My town is currently undergoing massive construction, and again, this thing soaks up uneven roads and stuff like that just fine, but the ride height is a bit of a concern. I've already scraped the nose more than once on, you know, not too steep of a hill or a grade. It was nothing that should have... Bad construction is bad. But yeah, as far as performance goes, the steering is weighty at all the wrong times. It just doesn't inspire any confidence. In parking lots, it's heavy. When you go over 20, it gets feathered light. There's very little feedback. The only feedback you're ever really going to get is a constant throw. Whether it's from the harshness of the ride that, you know, you don't get as a passenger, but it does come up through the chassis, and you get that through the wheel. And when you're idling, this drivetrain, this mill just doesn't like to idle.
Or go.
Or go, as you're about to see. But anytime you're idling, it's shaking. You can just get this constant thrum coming through the steering.
You can hear it.
And when you go to accelerate, very little happens other than unpleasant noises, and it just feels almost like it's in limp home mode. I know every car doesn't have to be a Hellcat or, you know, an AMG, but this is almost dangerous in its lack of acceleration and inconsistencies. The steering is inconsistent, the acceleration is inconsistent.
Now, there's one thing that's relatively consistent.
The brakes, I assume that's what you're alluding to. Yes, I will say the brakes are relatively good. Good modulation, all right feedback. I have noticed, however, after the last couple days of driving this, that the pedal has gotten a little bit mushy. Which, again, this has some hard miles on it, but I don't think it should have degraded like that. Either I got used to it weird, or it's just an inconsistent setup all around. As I'm sure you've noticed, the road noise isn't bad, and I am lost as balls. But again, I mean, this is a SV. It's not the SR, so it's not the top tits performance model. That being said, it is still riding just low. I mean, I'm a performance guy. I've had sports sedans before, but I parked this next to a brand new Optima SX Turbo yesterday, and this was a good 4 inches lower than it. It's just, when you get out of it, it's like getting out of an FRS or something of that sort, or you know, a Type R Civic. It doesn't scream, this is an everyday, you know, family car.
It's always caught unaware.
So the main problem I have with this, the engine's all right. 2.5 liter dual overhead cam, VVT, all the, you know, all the bells and whistles. I don't believe they've made them direct inject, which honestly I'm not against, but it's just that transmission robs everything from the sensation of go to stopping. It will try to engine brake on its own, and it's just unsuccessful. I've heard that they improved CVTs, and the main reason I did this review is because it had been a few years since I drove a Nissan, and it was an older model Nissan. It was a 2009 Rogue, and I was disgusted with it. So I figured, you know, it's been 9 years. Let's see what people have done. I've heard good things. Unfortunately, I cannot back up any of those good things, other than I will throw one shout out to this car's mileage. This car is getting 31.7 average, and that's with what looks like a lot of city driving. So this thing is getting its EPA mileage. So yeah, that's about all I can say about it at this point. It's not going to change my opinion the next week. So yeah, 2 days and nothing but disappointment. All right, guys, peace out.